displacement. So I know you must have heard this many times. That's fine. So let's quickly define these things. So what is distance? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me what do you mean by distance?
Speed.
Speed into time. But I want to know that's the formula of distance. What is distance?
A distance covered by a unit of time.
A distance covered
Distance
by
covered by
unit.
unit of time.
Okay.
Distance is the actual path covered by an object.
Distance is the actual path covered by an object. Akshani, okay. Bhumika, you remember what is distance? Bhumika, you remember what is distance?
So length of the path covered by an object.
Yeah, length of the path covered by an object. Sahas and Milan. Sahas, what do you think is distance? Yes, Sahas, it's one place to another. So what do we measure in that? So more or less you want to say it is the length of the path, right? Sahas, what about you? What is distance? Distance is the amount of length covered by an object. That's fine. Okay, so I agree that most of you think, say that what is distance? If there is a point A, if there is a point B, this person goes all the way along this path. The length of the path covered by the object is called distance. So how do we define distance? You can quickly scribble it down. Length of the path covered by an object is the distance, right? Length of the path covered by an object is the distance. And what is the units in which we measure distance? Meters, kilometers, miles, whatnot. So all these are, units of distance. Centimeters. Of course, if it is a small ant traveling from one point to other point, we can say it is centimeters. We can take the unit as centimeters. So I hope all of you know that. What is distance? Distance is the length of the path covered by an object. Is that fine? Then let's look at displacement. What is displacement? Yeah, you can quickly take it down. Distance is the length of the path covered by an object. Distance is the length of the path covered by an object. You're taking it down? And what are units of distance? Units of distance, the standard unit that we take is what? The standard unit that we take is meter, or depending on the situation, I can have kilometers, mile, whatnot, light year, right? All these are units of distance. I hope that is clear to all of you. Yeah. So all of you taking it down. Distance is length of the path covered by an object. Now let's talk about displacement. Now what is displacement? How do we define displacement?
Shortest distance between 2 points in particular direction.
Shortest distance between 2 points in particular direction. Yes, anyone else? Akshani, what is your answer? Displacement.
Sir, the length between the initial point and the final point.
So it is the length between the initial point and the final point. Okay, Satvika, what about you? Satvika, Sahas, Milan, same. Okay. So now when we talk about displacement, pretty much same. Okay, Milan, what about you? What is your answer? What do you think is displacement? It's also same. It's easy to write, right? Fine. Okay, so when we talk about displacement, now displacement, like if I start from A and I go to B, this is called displacement, right? This part. Now there might be path, there might not be path. You're getting it? So displacement doesn't require the existence of a path. Even if there is no path, then displacement will be what? Only this. A standard example that I take is like, if there is, let's say there is a point A here on the tower. There is a tower of height 10 meters. There is another tower of height 10 meters. The separation between the towers is 20 meters. There is an ant which has to go from point A to point B. Now, what is the distance that it has to cover if it is going from A to B? And let's assume that it's an ant which cannot fly. It's not a superhero, so the ant cannot fly. Then what would be the distance covered by an ant to go from A to B? What is the minimum distance required by the ant to go from A to B? Yes, quick. Bhumika, what is the answer? What is the minimum distance required by the ant to go from A to B? Or what if it's going from A to B, what is the minimum distance that it has to cover? There are two towers of height. Akshani's answer is 20. I hope my question is clear. Question is, find the minimum distance covered. Find the minimum distance covered by an ant if it moves from A to B. And we can safely say ants cannot fly. Yeah, what is your answer, Akshani? You said 20, right? So Akshani says 20. Bhumika also says 20. Milan, what is your answer? Milan, Sahas and Satvika, I want answers from you people. What is the minimum distance covered? 20. Milan is also 20. Sahas, what is your answer? Satvika, Sahas, does the ant have to go down the building and climb to the other one? That's Satvika, that's okay, no problem. You can just give me the typed answer. Sahas, that's a good question. Now, is there any other way in which ant can go from A to B? So, there is tower A, tower B, each of the tower is 10 meters high. So, is there any other? So, Sahas says, he has a question, does the ant have to go down the building and climb up the other one? So, is there any other way in which ant can go from A to B? If it doesn't know flying, it doesn't have an aeroplane with it. Okay, so Milan changes the answers to 40 meters. Fine. Sahas, what is your answer? Okay, 40 meters. Bhumika, do you want to change your answer or you want to remain at 20? Akshani, Bhumika, Satvika, you want to remain, keep your answer as 20 or you want to change? Okay, Akshani says 20. Bhumika, what about you? 20. Satvika? Okay, 20. So let's look at the situation. Now, if at all ant has to go from here, the only way the ant can go is it has to climb down, then go from here, and then go from here. So it has to cover 10 meters here, 20 meters here, and 10 meters here. So what is the total distance that it has to cover? 20 plus 10 plus 10. It has to cover how much? A total of 40 meters. So what is the shortest distance covered by the ant? The shortest distance would be equal to how much? Shortest distance is equal to 40 meters. There is absolutely no doubt in that. What is the shortest distance covered by the ant? It is 40 meters. Now, what is the displacement of ant? The shortest distance covered by the ant is how much? 40 meters. I hope it is clear, Satvika, Bhumika, and Akshani. Sahas, Milan got it right, but the other three, is that clear? Shortest distance is how much? 40 meters. Fine. Very good. Now, what is the displacement of the ant? What is the displacement of the ant? Displacement of the ant, Akshani says 20, Sahas says 20, Bhumika says 20, Satvika and Milan, 20. Milan, what is your answer? 20. So all of you say 20. So what is displacement? Displacement is only this. So this is how much? 20 meters. I hope it is clear. So shortest distance need not be equal to displacement. I hope it is clear. So when we are having a misconception that displacement is always equal to shortest distance, so it need not be shortest distance. So how do we define displacement? I can say displacement is separation between initial point and final point is displacement. Separation between initial point and final point of a body is its displacement. I hope it is clear. What is displacement? Displacement is separation between initial point and final point of a body. So I hope it is clear, all of you. Good evening, Nimrata. Displacement is what? Separation between initial point and final point of a body. That's what is displacement. So I don't have to write it. And displacement is always in a particular direction. And what is the particular direction? The direction is always from initial point to final point. So I can say displacement is always directed from initial point to final point. So displacement is always directed from initial point to final point. I hope it is clear. Is that okay? So you can quickly take it down. Displacement. What is displacement? Separation between initial point of a body. Point Sahas and Milan. Sahas and Milan, is that fine? Sahas, is that fine? That's great. Fine. Now let's see. Let me give you a couple of examples based on this. Now let me see who can give me the correct answer. So shall I wrap this? Distance is the length of the path. That's what we are seeing. And displacement is what? Separation between initial point and final point of the ball.